Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go Quick Look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we're looking at this time is the Tsubaki Aogami or Blue No. 2 Bunka 150mm knife. So the core steel is Aogami or Blue Paper No. 2 reactive high carbon steel from Hitachi. Heat treat on that core steel is about 62 to 63 Rockwell. And the construction is a 3-layer sandwich with softer iron cladding with a kudauchi or blacksmith finish on top of that on either side of that core steel. So it's an all-reactive blade. There's no stainless on it at all. The shape on this, you'll probably notice, is a little bit different. And if you check out the product page, which you're probably at if you're looking at this on the Chef Knives to Go website, this is known as a Hakata bocho, and it's a little different style than a traditional bunka. It has a longer, more triangulated, pointier tip that extends out a little further, and it also has a curve to the spine, a little bit of a curve there. So in practice, you definitely have a tip that sticks out a little further than you might be used to with a traditional bunka, and this is also really flat. So you're going to have to kind of keep an eyeball on that tip and where it is in relation to the cutting board and obstacles and the sink and everything else. But so these are really cool knives. The weight on these and the dimensions and stuff will vary a little bit from knife to knife because they are handmade. This one's about 134 grams or 4.7 ounces. On the edge, it's just about 150, about 6 inches. And on the overall length, about 11.9 inches. The spine thickness coming out of the handle above the back of the heel, known as the chin, is a little under 3 millimeters and pretty much just holds a lot of thickness until even when you hit the corner here, the turn on this reverse sword tip. And it doesn't thin out until you hit that grind, but man, does it get skinny right at that tip. So this is really nice for detail work. They're fairly tall for the length, and so this one's about 45 millimeters tall, the heel. And the handle, these are no frills handles, people. So it's a basic oval ambidextrous hoe wood with a metal ferrule, a little different type of ferrule. It's new for me, but fair amount of gap here or overage here, bump between the wood and where the collar goes in, the ferrule. You might choose to grind that or sand that down a little bit. That's up to you. You'll probably want to seal up the tang area. They've got a bit of a gap there, so I'd recommend sealing that. They do in the product little blurb that comes with this say that the tang is extra long on these and comes back to about, if I'm interpreting right, about right here. So they have nice long tangs on these for strength. The handle circumference on this is about 75 millimeters right here at the front of the wood where it meets the junction of the collar, the ferrule. And let's take a look. So these are really, well, they're nicely crafted blades. They've got a cool kudauchi finish on them. They have on their logo, I believe that's the camellia flower. So they've got that also stamped into the blade itself, if you can see that. And you can see the core steel here at the edge. On the other side, they've got some embossed kanji. It's pretty small, but these have, again, a cool texture to them on the kudauchi finish. They are ground really nicely, and you've got you've got a kind of a little bit of a, how am I going to put a shoulder there, but it's not a super hard shoulder. So I've been using the 180 model, and it's really good on not wedging too much, especially through carrots and stuff. So it's I like the grinds on these. They get really thin at the edge, and it's been great on stuff. Look how flat that baby is, though. They have flat profiles, so this is not a rocker. I'll say it again, this is not a rocker. So here it is on the board. And you can see I dig the tip in right off the bat. So you are not going to rock with this. Don't try it. You'll probably pop the tip or do something nasty to that. This is for pull, push cutting, chopping. It's flat. And you can definitely see here you've got a pretty aggressive snout on that thing. And again, the tip does stick out a little bit, so you really got to be mindful of that. And you got to watch it on the cutting board so you don't mess up the tip, digging it in, or when you're cleaning, or just, you have to be aware of where that tip is spatially when you're handling the knife. But the good thing is they're really cool. The steel seems, sharpening the 180, the steel seems like it's fairly hard and somewhat abrasion resistant, so that should translate into really good edge retention. Out of the box edge on this, I'd say is about a 5 out of 10, so nothing super fancy in terms of the edge. It'll get a whole lot sharper. If you're new to sharpening, you may want to pay for the out of the box, or I should say the finished sharpening service from Chef Knives to Go to see just how sharp this thing will get and have a good frame of reference. But really cool line of knives. So this is the Tsubaki Aogami or Blue No. 2 Hakata Bocho or Bunka 150 millimeter knife.